When you hold your baby, do you actually know what they need to feel loved? And no, I don't mean food, warmth, or a clean diaper. There's something deeper happening inside your baby's brain right now, something most parents completely miss. And if you don't understand it, which most don't, your baby has been sending you signals since the day they were born that you've never fully decoded.
Let's break down the 7 things that make your baby feel genuinely, deeply loved. And by the way, if your baby suddenly starts avoiding eye contact with you, don't brush it off. We'll get to what that really means at the end. And it's something every parent needs to hear before it's too late. 1. It was never just about being there. So, what's the first thing that makes a baby feel safe? Most people would say holding them, feeding them, being physically present. But here's the thing. Your baby started bonding with you before they were even born. By the 3rd trimester, a baby can hear and recognize their mother's voice from inside the womb. They hear it muffled, mixed with your heartbeat, your breathing, the rhythm of your body. And from the moment they're born, researchers found that newborns will work harder to hear their mother's voice over any other sound in the room. Think about that. In a world where everything is new, blinding, overwhelming, the one thing your baby already knows is the sound of you. So talk to them, not in a high-pitched baby voice, not reading from a script. Just talk. Narrate your morning, tell them about your day, describe what you're cooking. It doesn't matter what you say. What matters is that they hear the one voice their brain has been wired to trust since before they took their first breath. A study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that a mother's voice activates language regions in a newborn's brain in ways no other voice can. You're not just comforting them, you're literally building their brain, and you do it every time you speak. 2. They're reading your skin like a book. Have you ever noticed how your baby calms down almost instantly when placed against your bare chest? That's not just warmth, that's chemistry. When your skin touches your baby's skin, something extraordinary happens inside both of your bodies. Your brain releases oxytocin. So does theirs. It's often called the love hormone, but that undersells it. Oxytocin lowers your baby's stress hormones, stabilizes their heart rate, regulates their breathing, and tells their nervous system one simple thing: you are safe. But here's what most parents don't realize. This isn't just a nice moment. It physically rewires your baby's brain. A study from the University of Virginia found that babies who experienced more engaged touch from their mothers had measurable changes in their oxytocin receptor genes by 18 months. Not just behavior changes, genetic expression changes. The way you touch your baby today is shaping how their body processes love for the rest of their life. And it goes even further. Research showed that babies who had skin-to-skin contact within the first hour after birth were still more responsive and emotionally connected to their parents a full year later compared to those who didn't. So hold them against you, not just when they cry, when they're calm, when they're sleepy, when there's no reason at all. Because to your baby, your skin isn't just warm, it's a language. And every time you press them close, you're saying something their brain will remember long after they've forgotten the moment. 3. Your face is their entire emotional dictionary. This one might sound simple, but it runs deeper than almost anything else on this list. When your baby looks at you and you smile back, you're not just being nice, you're teaching them what emotions are. Babies aren't born understanding feelings. They learn them by watching you. When they smile and you smile back, their brain registers. This feeling inside me has a name. It's joy. And someone I trust just confirmed it. When they cry and you look concerned, they learn this discomfort I feel is real and someone cares. Developmental psychologists call this mirroring, and it's not optional. It's how the emotional brain gets built. Here's the part that should stop every parent in their tracks. Researchers found that when babies consistently look at their parent and receive a flat, unresponsive face, their stress hormones spike. They try harder, they reach out, they vocalize, and when nothing comes back, they eventually withdraw. It's called the still face experiment, and it's one of the most powerful demonstrations of what babies need from us. Not perfection, not constant entertainment, just this. When they look at you, look back. When they express something, reflect it. You don't need to be a child psychologist. You just need to be a mirror. And hey, if any of this is hitting different for you, go ahead and subscribe. It's the best way to help us reach more parents who actually want to understand what's going on inside their baby's mind. 4. Speed matters more than you think. There's an old piece of advice that refuses to die. Don't pick them up too fast or you'll spoil them. Let them cry it out. They need to learn independence. Here's what the science actually says. That advice is wrong, and it might be one of the most damaging myths in modern parenting. Attachment researchers have studied this for decades. What they found is that babies whose parents respond quickly and consistently to their cries don't become more dependent, they become more secure. And secure babies actually grow into more independent toddlers, not less. Here's why. Every time your baby cries and you respond, their brain files away a message. When I need something, someone comes. The world is safe. I can trust it. But when a baby cries and nobody comes, repeatedly the message their brain stores is different. I am alone. My signals don't matter. You're not building a habit when you pick up a crying baby. You're building their entire model for how relationships work. Psychologist John Bowlby, the father of attachment theory, put it this way. A baby who is well loved will protest when you leave, but over time they develop more self-reliance, not less. Because they know you'll come back, not in 5 minutes, not after you finish what you're doing, now. That speed isn't spoiling. It's the foundation of every relationship they'll ever have. 5. They don't understand your words, but they memorize your rhythm. This one surprises a lot of parents. Your baby can't tell time. They don't know what a schedule is. They can't read a clock, but they know your routine better than you think. Babies are pattern machines. Their brains are constantly tracking what happens next. Morning feeding, the sound of the blinds opening, bath time, the lullaby before bed. They're not just experiencing these moments, they're mapping them. And here's why that matters. Predictability to a baby is love. When the world follows a pattern, their nervous system can relax. They don't need to stay on high alert because they've learned what's coming. That safety allows their brain to do what it's supposed to do, grow. Developmental research shows that babies raised in predictable environments develop stronger emotional regulation. They sleep better, they cry less, not because they're being controlled, but because their brain has learned to trust the structure around them. You don't need a rigid military schedule, but small, repeated rituals, the same song at bedtime, the same voice when they wake up, the same order to the evening routine, these aren't just habits. To your baby, they're promises. And every time you keep one, their brain says, I can count on this person. I can count on this world. 6. The love they need most is the kind that steps back. This sounds counterintuitive, so stay with me. One of the deepest ways to show your baby you love them is to let them struggle. Just a little. When your baby reaches for a toy and can't quite grab it, your instinct screams, help them, hand it to them, fix the problem. But researchers have found something powerful in that tiny gap between struggle and success. When a baby works towards something and eventually gets it, their brain releases a surge of dopamine. They learn, I can do things. I have an effect on the world. And when you're sitting nearby, watching, available but not rescuing, they learn something even more important. Someone believes I can do this. Psychologists call this the secure base effect. A baby who knows their parent is close by, ready but not hovering, is a baby who explores more, tries more, and recovers faster from frustration. So next time they're struggling with something small, take a breath, watch, encourage them with your voice, and when they finally get it, let your face light up. That moment, the struggle, the success, and your reaction, that teaches them something no amount of helping ever could. I am capable, and someone I love saw me do it. 7. When they stop looking at you, listen closely. This is what I mentioned at the beginning, and it's something every parent needs to understand. If your baby has been making eye contact with you, reaching for you, lighting up when you enter the room, and that suddenly changes, do not ignore it. Babies are creatures of connection. When they break a pattern this fundamental, they're trying to tell you something. Sometimes the reason is sensory. Their environment is overwhelming. Too much noise, too many faces, too much stimulation. A baby's nervous system can only handle so much before it shuts down and turns inward. Sometimes it's physical, ear infections, teething pain, illness. When a baby doesn't feel well, they often withdraw, not because they don't want you, but because all of their energy is going toward coping. And sometimes it's relational. If there's been tension in the home, if the routine has been disrupted, if a parent has been stressed and emotionally unavailable, not intentionally but consistently, a baby notices. They don't understand why the mirrors stopped reflecting, but they feel the absence. Here's the good news. Babies are remarkably resilient. You don't need to be perfect. Research shows that even good enough parenting, where the parent gets it right about a third of the time, is enough to build a secure bond. What matters is that you notice when something shifts, that you slow down, that you get on the floor, meet their eyes, and reconnect, because that moment your baby looked at you and smiled, that was never small. That was them saying, with everything they have, you are my whole world. And every single day, with these 7 things, you have the power to say it back.